Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mack Flash Trivia. My name is Francois, and I'll be your host for the next little bit. This is Seriously Trivia Live. Welcome to Friday, everybody. You all made it. Thank you, and thank goodness it's Friday. Welcome. My name is Francois. As I said, we're going to be taking you through 2 rounds of trivia tonight, all of them filled with puzzles and trivia to delight everybody. I've got my beverage right here. I'm having myself a delicious Flying Monkey Juicy Ass IPA right here. Look at that stuff. It's a delicious, delectable beer. I would not have been drinking this 6 months ago. That's the man I've become. That's how the pandemic has affected me. I drink IPAs now. That's right. Yeah. All right, well, enough about that. Welcome back. It is Seriously Trivia. The way tonight's going to work, if you don't know, we're all going to be playing together, each at home. What you should be having is a whiteboard, a marker, a notepad, a pen, anything you want to write on and with is fine with me. You might want to keep an optional scoreboard if you're playing at home against the same people in your house. The way it's going to work, we've got 10 categories coming up right now, all of them with a variety of, as I said, puzzles and trivia for you, each of them with about 3 questions in them. Every time you pick one, and these are the ones I'm going to want you to pick out these questions in order to, or categories, sorry, and put them out in the chat here so that I can play them in the exact order that you would like. We don't have to play them 1 through 10 at all. When you pick them, you will find 3 questions in there for about 20 to 25 seconds each. Work as a team or by yourself to find out these answers and write it down on your sheet. Because immediately after we are done, I will be revealing the answers right to you so that you can mark your own sheet or board and then share your score in the chat with everybody else as we go. Plus, keep a cumulative score for the end of each round. People like to compare, that sort of thing. Well, it's pretty simple right now. We've got ourselves a game lined up, 10 categories here. A short break after that, 10 more categories. Tons of people over here in the chat. Happy birthday to Carol of the Hackers. It is your birthday today. Thank you for joining us here on Seriously Trivia. A true fan indeed. Hopefully you are well on your deck and you are dry, because the weather's been all over the place today. Let's take a look at your categories coming up for all that and the weather, folks. That's right. Trivia, the weather, fun quips, beer reviews. That's what you get on Mack Flash Trivia. Let's take a look at your categories coming up right now. We got Life on the Chain Gang coming up. We got Political Channels at number 2. Praise the LOID. We've got Songs in the Key of. We've got Bantonyms joining us this week. We've got Quiz On. Initial Reaction is back. We've got Youth in Reverse. We've got Sports Ball, a whole category about it. And Reanimated. So there you have it. Let me know your choices. I see some already lining up here. Already a request for Brad Libs. You'll be first next one. But we got Songs in the Key of. Followed by Bantonyms. Great choice. And then we got more songs. We got Quiz On right over here. Some more Bantonyms. Some sports right there for the sports fans. Keep those coming. And as we play along, I will write them down and we will play them that way. Thank you very much for your suggestions. Let's get started with some songs in the key of. It is songs in the key of clothing. All these questions are about. It's a mystery. What could it be, everybody? What could it be? Oh, clothing. Right. It's about clothing, obviously. These are all songs that have clothing in the title. Let's take a look at these questions. What type of shoes were Casey and the Sunshine Band singing about in 1975? Number 2, songs in the key of clothing. Name the 2 artists on the 2013 contemporary pop song, Suit and Tie. And finally, number 3. Complete the title of this Weezer hit, Undone, the blank song. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. What are you guys all joking about in the chat there? Well, what could it be? What could it be? A little bit of Weezer, perhaps? Yes. All right, perhaps. We made a little bit of a revisit of an old favorite. Let's take a look at the answers I was looking for at the same time while we're talking about this. We've got ourselves the type of shoes. They were boogie shoes. I gotta wear my boogie shoes. What else we have? Number 2, we had Justin Timberlake featuring Jay-Z. I asked for both artists on Suit and Tie. It is a song by Justin Timberlake featuring Jay-Z. You'll give a point for each of those answers. And Undone, the Sweater song by Weezer. Of course, I had to throw it back in there. I had to. 4 points coming at you. Boogie Shoes, Justin Timberlake, Jay-Z, and Sweater filling the blank that we had there. Give yourself a point for each and share it out of 4. What did you get? And already we are on our way with round number 1. One category down, and everyone understands how to play now as the scores are coming through. How that happened. I will be attempting probably to reset the stream in a while because I'm noticing quite a delay that is building up. So during the break, don't worry if we have a little connectivity issues. It will be right back, and we will be back with round number 2, or sooner if I can do a little reset. But yes, there's a lot of buffering, and I'm not sure. Everything seems to be okay at this end, but I'm gonna have to try what I did last time. I'll try it again. Let's go through with Bantonyms, and then if it doesn't get better after that, we will try that. All right. Bantonyms is here. It's one of our, I'd say, crowd favorites. This is where I take a band name and I give you the exact opposite of every word to create a new creative fake band name that is the bantonym or opposite of the band name. I want you to find the opposite of each word to form the existing band name. For example, if I give you Red Night, you could say Green Day. I've got 3 of them coming up, brand new, so let's take a look at these 3 bantonyms. The no-no-nos. At number 2 in Bantonyms, we have got the following band, Their Gentleman War. And finally, number 3 in Bantonyms, find the opposite of each word to form an existing band name, Your Organic Tragedy. And there you have it. That is Bantonyms for this week. 3 bands, and I gave you the opposite words. Were you able to find the bands? Let's find out and compare your answers to mine. In number 1, we were looking for the Yeah, Yeah, Yeahs. That's right, the opposite of the No, No, No's. At number 2, we had Our Lady Peace, or Your Gentleman War, or Their Gentleman War, because why not? At number 3, we had My Chemical Romance, or Your Organic Tragedy. Give yourself a point for each of those. Yeah, Yeah, Yeahs, Our Lady Peace, and My Chemical Romance out of 3. And some great scores and words of approval for that previous round coming in. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Let's move on to our next category coming up right now. Number 3 on my list is Quiz On. So let's see what I've got selected this week. Quiz on blocks. I do remember after choosing this word thinking, didn't we do this already? And we did bricks, but we never did blocks. Let's take a look at what I was able to come up with for 3 questions revolving around blocks. How many different Tetris shapes are there? Number 2 in Quiz on Blocks, what American DJ and producer responsible for the hit song Blocks wears a white helmet resembling his namesake, covering his face at all times? And finally, number 3 in this Quiz on Blocks, what is the name for the Lego product designed for 2 to 5-year-olds? And that is your Quiz on Blocks. 3 questions related to blocks in one way or another. Let's take a look at the answers and see if you were able to figure them out. Number 1, how many blocks are there in Tetris? There are 7 shapes, 7 different distinct shapes. At number 2, we were looking for the American producer and DJ called Marshmallow, and he looks like his helmet it looks like a marshmallow with a face on it, kind of painted or like cut through, and it's black. And anyway, he always wears it. Yeah, you know, it's a thing now. You electronica, you better come up with a helmet. That's Daft Punk and a Deadmau5 and now Marshmallow. You know, that's it. And then finally, we've got at number 3, Duplo, the Lego for 2 to 5-year-olds. Give yourself a point for each of those answers. And let's see your score in the chat. The feed seems to have caught up to us, thankfully. I shouldn't say anything so I don't jinx it, but thank you very much and for your patience, and let me know if you still are experiencing some issues. We got a nice variety of scores here, all the way from 1 to 3. Nice. I'm taking a look at the chat right now, thinking about all the different helmet ideas. And I gotta say, Chris, you've got a good one there. You got a good one. That's a good one. DJ Penis. Just a big purple helmet. Let's take a look at your sports category. It is sports ball, and I ran this by my sports guy today, and I said, hey, I've got these sports questions, and I'm gonna say these are probably around an 8 out of 10 when it comes to how hard they're going to be. So if you are a sports fan, this is your time to shine. This is the time to prove to your team that, yes, I told you one day having a sports fan would come in handy. Well, this is it right here. Let's take a look at these 3 questions about sports ball. When it comes to awards, what accomplishment do baseball players Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson have in common? Number 2 in the category of sports, Archie Griffin is the only player to have been awarded this trophy twice in 1974 and 1975. And finally, number 3 in sports ball. In the NFL Seattle Seahawks, in whose honor would they retire jersey number 12? And there you go. It's the elusive sports category, all about actual sports. I'm not talking, this wasn't a racquetball, fencing, lawn bowling category here. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an honest to goodness sports category right here. You saw it. You were here. You experienced it. You tell people what you saw here today. They will not believe it. They won't believe it. Let's take a look at these answers and see if you're able to come up with them as well. Number 1, these 2 guys have both won 4 consecutive Cy Young Awards. The only 2 in the league to have done so. Number 2, the he's received the Heisman Trophy twice. The only person in 81 times this trophy's been awarded. This man is the only one to have received it twice, and it was 2 years in a row. And number 3, if they retire jersey number 12, jersey number 12 is for the crowd, because the crowd is considered there the 12th player. So give yourself a point for each of those 4 consecutive Cy Young Awards, the Heisman Trophy, and the crowd. 1, 2, 3. I love how the sports fans are calling it in the chat already before it was done. That is great. Buff Tannen, yes. It's funny, AB, that you say the whole comment about you hate the Seahawks and their bandwagon fans. I'm not trying to start a fight in the chat if that's the problem, if that's an issue, but it's funny that you say that, because the person I was talking to Jim about it today, who's our sports guy, and he's the guy I ran these by, and he said exactly the same thing. He grunted and groaned every time I asked the question. He was like, I know what you mean by I hate this question, but it's a great question. So there you have it. Apparently, it's a bone of contention with a lot of people. We've got youth in reverse coming up, which I thought was a really fun category to write. I did learn a lot, and I also learned that some people spend a lot of time studying weird things on the internet, such as the average age of a cast when they're portraying teenagers in movies. So these questions are going to be about the results of that research, finding out questions about movies where full-grown adults try to convincingly play teenage characters. characters. It was a great article, and I will definitely post the link later, but take a look at these questions right here. Even though its cast has a famously high average age of 29 years old, this musical film is so much fun, nobody cares. Number 2. Michael J. Fox plays a teen in the Back to the Future series, but what other teen movie of his has a high cast age average, not all by his fault? And finally, number 3. How old was Ralph Macchio when he portrayed 17-year-old Daniel LaRusso in Karate Kid? Was he 23, 25, or 27? And there you have it. That is Youth in Reverse, where grown adults were playing teenagers. And just to be clear, those average ages are based on the age of the cast that play characters that are under 18, taking their age and averaging it out. So that first one had an average age of 29, which means there were some people as old as 34 playing teenage characters in that movie. What movie was that? Let's find out right now. We are talking, of course, about Grease. That's right, Grease is famous for having very advanced, mature adults playing teenagers at a high school. That one having the highest one in that research, a high age of 29. Number 2, Teen Wolf. As a matter of fact, Michael J. Fox brought the average down slightly by a couple of years. He was 21, I believe, and the average age was 23, if I'm not mistaken, from what I read today. So Teen Wolf is the one we were looking for. And this is another interesting fact. Ralph Macchio was 23 years old when he did this, and believe it or not, he was 4 years older than the guy who portrayed Johnny in the movie. So even though he's very baby-faced, he was actually 4 years older than his bully, unless he was the bully. Give yourself a point for each of those: Grease, Teen Wolf, and 23 years old. That's Youth in Reverse. And I'm seeing some very nice scores this week. I'm very proud of you guys. I like it, and it makes me happy to know that these games are right up your alley. I've been seeing lots of 2s and 3s, which to me is great. Came up with an analogy the other day. Is like basically getting 1 point is like getting cake. And then getting 2 points, that's the icing on the cake. And getting 3 points, that's like you're just getting a whole other piece of cake afterwards. Like, I'm having 2 pieces. That's kind of like how you have to look at the points at Seriously Trivia. It's the cake analogy. It works that way. Let's take a look at Reanimated, your next requested category. And it is, of course, your picture round. These are terrifying. I'll give you a little bit of a graphic warning. If you're squeamish, you might want to squint a little bit or turn on some lights. I want you to identify the famous animated character, which has been reimagined as sort of a monster, zombie, terrifying, nightmarish thing. There are 5 of them coming up for about 20 seconds each, and it starts, of course, with number 1. How about that? That was something. Weren't those scary? I think a lot of the most of the scary parts, like the scariest thing is all the excess teeth. All of them had way too many teeth. Like, I think extraneous teeth is possibly one of the scariest things that you can't pinpoint. You know, like when somebody says, what's wrong with it? Like, look at this face. There's something odd about this face. What is it? And then they have to tell you that they have like no eyebrows or something. And they're like, oh my God, I never would have noticed. I think the thing that makes those things scary was like the too many teeth. Let's take a look at the answers. You have to identify the characters for each of these horrific versions. And as I like to say, well, at least that's done now. We don't have to do it again. Let's take a look at number one. We had Mike Wazowski coming in from Monsters, Inc. Mike Wazowski. Number two, it was Pikachu. And a scary one indeed. Shrek looked amazing, though. I gotta say, if ever they made one of those Shreks where he becomes like the evil version of himself, because they haven't done that one yet. He's become the charming version of himself, but he never became the most evil. They should draw him like that. That would be pretty effective. We had Stitch coming in at number 4, and finally Totoro from My Nightmare Totoro. I mean, My Neighbor Totoro. Give yourself a point for each of those. Opos and Bononos. We'll see you back at the front for more trivia. We got the LOIDs coming up. It's a very good question. It's been brought up. If the leg that Stitch was holding, is that Lilo's leg? Is that what, because that's even worse. That's even more terrifying than it was. Let's take a look at the LOIDs coming up. Praise the LOID. It's Friday. And when we praise the LOID, we get LOIDs. That's right, DIT-LOIDs. These DIT-LOIDs are abbreviations or acronyms of common expressions, sayings, or statements of fact. For example, if I say measurement as a category and I say 12 equals I in F, you could say 12 inches in a foot. I'm gonna do that 3 times with 3 different categories. I bet you were sweating a little bit. You're like, maybe praise the LOID is all gonna be about the Bible. I regret not doing that. And I'm gonna, one day, I will definitely bring that to you. But first, let's do these ones here. Number 1, category of games, 120 equals H in a CB. Number 2, praise the LOID. Technology, 10 equals NB on a NP. And number 3, in the category of DIT-LOIDs, literature, 7 equals H of HEP. And there you have it. Those are your LOIDs for today in 3 different categories. Let's take a look at the answers and see if you were able to solve them. We've got number 1 coming at you. It was in category of games. It was 120 holes in a cribbage board, not counting the game holes at the end. We have got number 2 coming at you. It's 10 number buttons on a number pad for the category of technology. And at number 3, it was 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, a popular book in the self-help, motivational sort of business improvement books. Clearly, I haven't read it. Here's your 3 LOIDs, your 3 LOID answers, and give yourself the point for each. And a rough round for everybody. Wow, okay. I figured maybe the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, or holes in a cribbage board. You guys like games and stuff. I thought maybe you would like. Okay, you know what? Let's just pretend that never happened. Let's just not talk about it anymore. Ban the LOIDs. Ban the LOIDs. Let's take a look at well, literature counts as anything like anything you read. So even though some people would say Stephen King is not literature, it's whatever. Can I have some categories here, because we've got Life on the Chain Gang, political channels, and initial reaction. I'm picking up the hint right here. I think we're gonna have to give some of these games a bit of a pause. Okay, so we got initial happening right here, and then we've got ourselves oh, I agree. I can't be one to debate books, guys. Definitely not. I'm just regurgitating what I heard. That's fine to me. Literature is just anything that is a book. A book is literature, whether it's I picked up some literature on the subject. That's just that's the way I intended it. Well, there you have it. We've got our initial reaction coming up next. Big points here, 9 points, as a matter of fact, coming at you. What I'm going to do is in each box, I'm going to give you 3 descriptions of 3 different people that share a set of initials. What you need to do is figure out who these people are and name them all, not just their initials. Now, I'm not going to give you their initials, hoping that maybe one of them will be obvious enough that you'll be able to figure it out and then figure out the other hints. Let's take a look at these 3 boxes, 3 different sets of initials, but shared, of course, by each trio. Let's take a look. First one, the renowned E.T. director, the MCU's Winter Soldier, and Wreck-It Ralph's Vanellope. Number 2, the Sons of Anarchy star, Larry David's wife, Cheryl, and a Canadian singing astronaut. These 3 share a set of initials. Number 3 in initial reaction, yet another set of initials shared by these 3 people. Name these 3. Ferris Bueller, disgraced celebrity chef, and a 7'7" Sudanese NBA player. And there you have it. That is initial reaction. 9 possible points coming at you. Each trio shared a set of initials, and that was your hint to help you figure out who they were. Let's take a look at the answers for this one. Number 1, sharing the initials SS, we had Steven Spielberg as the renowned E.T. director. We had Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier, and Sarah Silverman voices Vanellope in Wreck-It Ralph. At number 2, we had CH. We had Charlie Hunnam coming in at number 1 for Sons of Anarchy. Cheryl Hines plays Cheryl on Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David's wife. And Chris Hadfield, the Canadian singing astronaut. And at number 3, we were looking for Matthew Broderick, MB. We had Mario Batali coming in at number 2. And your Sudanese 7'7" basketball player, Manute Bol. Give yourself a point for each of those people you got correct. And share your score in the chat. Mario Batali is the one you may remember with the ponytail and the orange Crocs. The one also who apparently got into some sort of sexual misconduct trouble and is now stepping down from all of his restaurants and television shows one after the other. So we've got political channels coming up next, followed by Life on the Chain Gang, your last 2 games of this round. Then we're going to take a short break. We're going to refresh. We're going to come back with round number 2 with 10 more categories. Of course, the shot of the night in there as well. So a lot of fun left to be had. Let's keep this up right now with political channels and possibly one of the toughest categories tonight, for me at least. I tried to branch out because I think, you know, there's stuff that other people like that I might not be aware of. So sometimes I try to go that way. And these are all about television politicians. So fictional TV politicians, 3 questions. Let's take a look here. On what television show does Tia Leone rise from the CIA to Secretary of State and finally to President? There's a frickin' mouse in the studio. I just heard it scratch in the ceiling. All right, well, here we go with question number 2. At the beginning of the superpower craze, on what television show would you have found Nathan Petrelli, a candidate for U.S. representative? Who can fly? The acid just kicked in. Oh, right. And finally, in political channels, question number 3. What is the name of the mayor of Springfield as per the popular television show The Simpsons? Yeah, let's go for full name on that one. Let's go for full name. Full name? Full name? Okay, we'll call this a 2-pointer. Give me a full name for 1 point. So, first and last name. And give me his nickname for a bonus point. How about that? So, if you're paying attention, please do, because this might be worth 2 points here. We're going to do a full name for 1 point. So, his normal name, first name, last name. And then his nickname for an extra point as well. So, let's do that. For political channels, 3 questions about television politicians. Let's see what the answers are for this one. Number 1, Tia Leone in Madam Secretary. Basically, I had only heard the name of the show, and today basically read the entire plot of the series on Wikipedia, which is very disappointing because it seemed like it could have been an interesting show. Number 2, we had ourselves Heroes all the way back at the beginning when Heroes were starting to take over the air. This show was on, called Heroes, as a matter of fact. And yes, he could fly. Nathan Petrelli. Number 3, we have Joe Quimby for 1 point. Joe Quimby. And for an extra point, if you knew that his name, Diamond Joe. Diamond Joe Quimby. That would be his nickname. Give yourself an extra point if you got the diamond for Diamond Joe. This is out of 4 points now. Thank you for that interesting bonus point. Good thing I'd already written it down on the screen. The Edge. And we're back at the front with Life on the Chain Gang, your final game of this category. After that, as I said, we're going to take a short 5-minute break. We'll be right back with round 2. Stick with us all night if you want, because after this, at 10 o'clock, we'll be going into the Games Lounge, where each of us are bringing forth a different board game, and we're going to be entertaining each other and you as well with these board games. We had a great time last Friday. I remember laughing very, very hard, and I can't wait to see what the guys have planned for this week. So we'll see you all in there in the chat room for the Games Lounge. I'll be posting the link at the end of the night in the chat, but you can also find it right there on our YouTube front page. It's just upcoming. I believe it's episode 14. You won't be making 14 points, but 9 points with this Life on the Chain Gang coming at you right now. In each box, I'm going to give you 5 words. The 3 in the middle contain blanks, and those are the ones you have to figure out. Now, the trick is that you can use each one with the next to form a common expression or saying. For example, here we have chain gang, gang leader, leaderboard, and board game. So you're going to have to do that in each box 3 times, which means 9 possible points coming at you if you're able to nail each one of these chain gang puzzles today. Let's take a look at number 1. It starts like this. Number 2. And finally, number 3 in Life on the Chain Gang. Oh, never mind. Oh, there it is. 3 points, everybody. I was doing so well. I swear, if the answers have the blanks in them, that's going to be even worse. At least if all of them have the answers, that's fine. If the other one has the blanks, ugh, it's terrible. This would have been a good one, too. Oh, man. You're all like, we would have gotten that. You would have gotten that. You totally would have gotten that. I know this one, right? Yeah, well, 3 free points for everybody. Let's take a look at the answers for Chain Gang. Well, whatever. Hey, what a way to end the round, right? Here you go. 3 free ones at the end. Let's take a look at your answers for this one. We had card stock, stock car, car tire, tire tread. Couldn't have been that one. No, that one couldn't have been free. That would have been too easy. Number 2, right wing, wingtip, tip top, top hat. And finally, the last one, and hopefully you were able to get these ones. Front door, door handle, handle bar, bartender, right? See? I know what you're saying. You're like, oh, Fred, you tricky buzzer. Give yourself a point for each of those. And some really nice, thank you. Thank you for your support, everybody. That's so nice of you. Well, that's it for this round of Seriously Trivia on YouTube. We are there. Look at this. All sorts of empty categories and a big thank you and then my face. Boom. There it is. It matches. Same thing. Boop, 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 boop. We're going to take a short break right now, but a real short one because I noticed the time and it's getting up there. We have this game and then we have got ourselves some Games Lounge to go at 10 o'clock. So make sure you keep a little energy for that. But not too much. Get yourself another drink, get something ready for the shot of the night. I hid it somewhere in the game tonight, so make sure that when you come back, you don't just pick crazy. Just take a look first. Where could he have hidden it? And then pick that category. We'll be right back in just a little bit. Enjoy the break, and see you very, very soon for some more Seriously Trivia right here. I'm going to go hunt this mouse. See if I can find it before the end of the show. Hey, what's up everybody? We are back. It's Seriously Trivia. My name is Francois and I am your host. We got another round of Seriously Trivia coming at you right now with 10 more categories. Took a look at your scores. We got some awesome stuff going on over here. All over the place. Just all over the place. But everyone seems to be having a great time tonight. I am as well, and thank you very much for joining me. If you are joining us for the first time and you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do so. It's not even bothersome at all. You just click the button. Once in a while you get a little message, hey, you know what, there's a new quiz here, there's a new quiz there, something's going on, something's coming up. You'll get the notification. All sorts of fun stuff happening in the upcoming months as well, where there's going to be all sorts of different trivia happening and different trivia shows and opportunities for you guys to come and play trivia exactly like this, but be able to raise some funds for some great charities that have approached me to help them do their fundraisers virtually now, considering that it's not very possible or feasible to rent halls and do it the way we used to do it. So we come up with a few ideas, and hopefully you will be able to do your part as well and still get to play some trivia and win some prizes. So could be a lot of fun. But for tonight, let's carry on with the games we love. It is Seriously Trivia Round 2. Don't forget you need something to write with, whether it's a whiteboard, marker, notepad, whatever it is, because we're going to have 10 categories coming at you, each of them with 3 questions. When you pick the categories, I will write them down and we will play them in that order. In each category, you will find 3 questions on a certain topic or puzzle. You'll get about 20 to 25 seconds to solve it and write it down at home, because immediately after I will have the answers up for you on the screen. You'll be able to mark your own sheet and tally your own score, and then share it in the chat with everybody else as we go, and tally it until the end so you can brag about how smart you are. Let's take a look at the categories coming up for round number 2 of Seriously Trivia right now. Number 1, we've got former and ladder coming up. That is not a typo. We have got sitcom. Oh, I liked it so much, I did it again. Mystery Bus is here. We have got songs in the key of. We've got Mana Rags. We've got Hit Me One Time. These 3 words is back as well. We got Brad Libs. We got It Starts With You. And Really Animated. Let's take a look at these categories, and I see some people that are already calling some stuff out, and as well some people hoping for their shot glasses next week. Hey, as long as we can meet at one of my events, or we can arrange a meeting, you can also get your own Mack Flash shot glass. That's right, they're back, they're here, they're finally here. Look at these things, they're beautiful. And yes, they are on sale for sure. We've got plenty of them, but they are getting ordered pretty quickly. I'm not selling those through the usual store, so you'll have to contact me either through email or through the Facebook account, so that I can put these aside and we can arrange some sort of meeting, whether you come and see me at the Manchester pub or at another one of my events. I'll be at the Walkerville Brewery next Thursday, for example, doing music bingo. If you're in the area, you might want to check that out. We'll talk about that after. Too many plugs at once. But what's great is that all of these names have just gone by, and we know how it's going to be. It's going to be songs first, followed by a little bit of Brad, followed by a little bit of Rebus, followed by a little bit of Hit Me, followed by some words, and then some sitcom, and then some starts, and there we go. That's how it's gonna go. We've got all of these categories already lined up, so let's get it started with the first one. And it was, of course, songs in the key of, because that guy, he's quick, he's got strategies, he knows what he's doing. These are all assorted questions about songs with bad words in the title. Bad words, well, I guess it's relative, whatever you consider a bad word, but some of these words you might not want your children saying. Number 1. What song by all-girl rockers L7 is featured in the movies Natural Born Killers, Point of No Return, and Pet Sematary 2? Number 2, who sang The Bitch Is Back in 1974? And number 3, speaking of bitches, fill in the name of this Britney Spears song. Wait, blank bitch. There you have it. Those are your songs in the key of bad words. Excuse my language during that round. I feel like a potty mouth. Let's take a look at the answers for those. Number 1, it's called Shit List. There I go again. This band, very understated and not, very well known. Let's call it not very popular, but still around, still kicking, and have been since the beginning. Number 2, we had Elton John singing "The Bitch Is Back," and at number 3, speaking of bitches, it's "Work Bitch" is what I was looking for. Shit List, Elton John, and "Work Bitch." Give yourself a point for each of those. Flagged. Flagged. YouTube's gonna get me now. Ooh, in a tough round in the bad words category. But don't worry, that was your first one. That was songs in the key of. And our next one, we've got You're a Good Friend, Brad Libs. Everybody loves a good Brad Lib. Every time I think, no, I'm not going to use it this week. I'll just keep it for next week. We'll stretch it out, and I go, no, I got to do the Brad Libs. And I think, okay, if it takes you too long to do it, don't do it. And then I do it, and it still works. So we got our Brad Libs coming up tonight, and I like to also shake it up sometimes. And sometimes I like to do a male actor. Sometimes I like to do a female actress. That's right! Smarty pants! I put the Brad Libs, I put the drink on the Brad Libs. Well, everybody, it's the shot of the night. That's right, this is your shot question of the night. This is where we come together in an act of conviviality, togetherness, if you will, and we do a shot together in order to commemorate our time. Well, that's a big shot, eh? Look at the size of this thing. Oh my, I don't think you're supposed to fill these all the way to the top. But we're Mack Flash. We go all the way, baby. So there you have it. Look at this thing. Ooh, that's very nice. Well, obviously we know which one this one goes out to. This one goes out to the birthday girl. Happy birthday to you, Carol. This one goes out to you and to all of your health. Ooh. Tastes especially good coming from that shot glass. Well, if you want one of those shot glasses, they are on sale. Make sure you do contact me either by Facebook or by email. We'll arrange something. We'll get you them. I'm looking into a way to ship them, but I gotta say, I looked into shipping to Ottawa, and it costs as much to ship it it costs more to ship it than for the price of the shot glass itself. So I gotta find out what the cheapest way to get it done. But enough about that. Let's get on to some Brad Libs, baby. That's right, Brad Libs is this game where I will give you a sentence, that sentence will contain blanks. Those blanks can be filled by deconstructing, in this case, a Jamie Lee Curtis movie, word for word, and using those words in order in those blanks to make the sentence make sense. It's called Brad Libs because it started off with Brad Pitt movies. For example, here we have soldiers go to war with machine guns. So War Machine was the movie that Brad Pitt was in. In this case, though, we are talking about Jamie Lee Curtis movies. See if you can find the Jamie Lee Curtis movie which fits these sentences. It's kind of blank the way they met on blank and got married on Sunday. Number 2, find a Jamie Lee Curtis movie that fits these blanks. I don't know if it's blank, but I'm pretty sure you have to play the ball where it blank. And finally, number 3 in Brad Lib's Jamie Lee Curtis edition. It had been a while since he'd done blank on the stove and didn't want anyone to find blank. It's the best I could do with that one. It's the best I could do with that movie. I don't know. The other ones I feel would have been a little too obvious. Let's take a look at the answers coming up. We've got 3 Jamie Lee Curtis movies that we wanted to see that would fit those blanks and make the sentence make sense. Number 1, it was freaky how they met on Friday and got married on Sunday. It's a little freaky. It's a little freaky. Or it's true love. True love is freaky like that. They got freaky, that's for sure. Number 2, I don't know if it's true, but you got to play the ball where it lies. That's how I play golf. Basically, that's how I play golf. I'm like, I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Maybe not. I'll just kick it over here. That'll work better. It's great. Golf is great if you just play it that way. If you play it the other way, ugh, terrible. Number 3, we've got Knives Out. It'd been a while since he done Knives on the Stove. He did not want his anyone to find out. That's right, knives on the stove. Came up in conversation recently. It's fresh in my brain. Just thought I'd use it in trivia. Why not? And we got some great scores coming up right there. Look at that. Some 3s, some 2s. We got a 2.5 somehow. I don't know. You thought maybe the movie was called Hash Out? Brad Libs is out of the way. We got Mystery Bus coming up right now. And it's Mystery Bus. It is your Rebus puzzle category of the night. What is a Rebus puzzle? It's a visual representation of a common expression or saying. For example, here we've got the number 4 inside the word film. So we got 4 in film. 4 in film. It helps a lot if you say it out loud. Unless, of course, you're competing against people in the same room, then don't do that. That's a terrible strategy. Let's take a look at number 1. Your Rebus puzzle goes like this. Number 2 in your Rebus puzzles. And finally, number 3, your third Rebus puzzle. And that is your Mystery Bus or Mr. Rebus. All of your Rebus puzzles right here in one place. Easy to find right where you left them. Let's take a look at the answers for those coming up. We've got 3 of them. Ha, what a coincidence. There were 3 puzzles. Number 1, bad intentions. We had the word bad surrounded by 10 shuns. So we had bad intentions. Yeah, I know. It's fun. It's funner when you say it wrong. Bad intentions. We have number 2. We had odds and ends. It was all odd numbers and the letter N a few times. So we had odds and ends. Odds and ends. And number 3, we were looking for lem on shandy. Lem, L-E-M, on, S-H and D, lemon shandy. So there you go. Bad intentions, odds and ends, lemon shandy. Give your point for all of those. Bad intuition is close, San Fran potato skins, but I cannot take it because there were technically 10 shuns, so it kind of tuition. I'm gonna definitely steal that one, and I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use bad intuition another time, and then you're gonna have the upper hand. That's what's gonna happen there. Yeah, huh? Tune in 3 weeks from now. You're like, that's my puzzle. I wrote that. And I was like, yeah, and you still get the point for it. So there you have it. Let's take a look at your next one. Rebus puzzles out of the way. We got some 2s, some 3s, a couple of 1s. And let's take a look here. We've got hit. I looked down and forgot for some reason. Yeah. Let's take a look at hit me one time. Hit me, baby, one more time. Each answer will contain the letter combination HIT somewhere in the word at the beginning, middle, and wherever it might be. The word will have the letter combination HIT. Let's take a look at these 3 questions coming up right now. Like a blacksmith specializes in iron, this metal worker specializes in tin. I like that AB is just bringing back like a question from like a round before, but it's something I would totally do. Just have the same question twice. Wait, that happened on Wednesday at the Manchester, where we had the same question twice. Yeah, whatever. I used my improvisational skills and made it all better. Speaking of all better, let's take a look at number 2. One who designs and supervises the construction of buildings. And finally, number 3, this answer contains HIT somewhere in the word. To carve wood into an object by repeatedly cutting small slices from it. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, baby, baby. Or something like that. Pretty sure those are the words, though. Pretty sure. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, so it's probably pretty fresh in my mind. Let's take a look at the answers for these. Hit me one time. 3 words that have HIT somewhere in them. Like a blacksmith does iron, a whitesmith does tin. You can also call him a tinsmith. That doesn't have HIT in it. Well, not as HIT. We have got number 2, an architect, somebody who designs and supervises the building of buildings. I said it better the first time. Number 2, whittle. To whittle. Whittle myself a whip. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna whittle myself a whip. Yeah. Whitesmith, accent. What? I got excited. Architect by my own accent. And Whittle. There you have it. Give yourself a point for each of those. Guys, I haven't even taken the time to tell you about our sponsor tonight, which I really should, because I mean, there is only one. So I should really take at least, Littlefoot Foods. They're our main sponsor this month, and they've been with us for so long. It's been amazing and a great relationship with them. Absolutely love having them along for the ride. And make sure you do check them out. Check out their Facebook account for all the updates on what's going on day to day. And of course, you can check out their Facebook at Littlefoot Foods, or their website at littlefootfoods.com. You can even still get these cool physical distancing t-shirt, because social distancing I can't say it. Social distancing is still very cool, and that was tough. And so you can get the shirt, and 2/3 of the proceeds of the shirt actually go to charity. So that's pretty awesome. So thank you very much to Littlefoot Foods for being our sponsor. I appreciate you. I love you, and I wish you all the best in these weird times. Let's take a look at your next one coming up right now. We've got these 3 words, number 7 coming up. These 3 words. The answers to these 3 hints have a word in common. In each box, I'm going to give you 3 hints. The answer to those hints have a word in common. All I want is that word. For example, if I were to say an alarm clock holder, Van Gogh's swirly painting, and evening classes, how is that night? Well, you've got a nightstand, you've got starry night, and you've got night classes. So all of those have night in common. That's what we're gonna do in these next 3 boxes. Take a look at these, figure out the answers, and then figure out the word they have in common. I hope everybody's back. I just noticed your comments that we were a little frozen there. Looks like we're okay. Let's go on with these 3 words. Number 1, weekly compensation. Number 2, a dashboard light. And number 3, can I get the bill? Remember, each of these answers to these 3 hints have a common word. It's only that word that I'm looking for. Sneaky sneak, I knew someone was gonna say it. But I left it in for our American friends. Let's take a look at number 2. We're talking about these 3 hints: past closing time, non-standard accessories, and the total price all included. What word do these 3 answers have in common? And finally, at number 3, the answers to these 3 hints, again, have a word in common: a reduction in price, an imprinted security feature, and a freckle or benign spot. That's how you play these 3 words. It could be a 9-point game if I wanted to. I could have made this where I made you actually write down all 3 expressions, and I was thinking about it. Let me know if that's a game that you would be interested in doing for 9 points, or if you're okay with just finding the common word, and that could be because you're only getting maybe 1 or 2 and taking some wild guesses, which I appreciate, and that's a great strategy. Remaining it, if we keep it at the common word sort of fashion. So let me know where you stand. Common word or all answers? Yeah, we'll see. Let's take a look at the answers for this time, though, and next time we'll adapt the way you like it. We got these 3 words. The first one we wanted to see was paycheck, check engine light, and check please. Let's take a look at these 3. It was all check. That's right. So the word we were looking for, all you had to do was write down the word check. And yes, as somebody pointed out, Société de la Sneaky Sneak. I know we spell it different here in Canada, but I thought I'd leave it in because it still matters. It still exists as a word somewhere. Number 2, we've got after hours, past the opening hours. We've got aftermarket, accessories that are not standard, and we've got after tax right here. And in your last one, we have got mark down, a reduction in price. We've got your watermark, which is an imprinted security feature, and the birthmark, a freckle or a benign spot. Give yourself a point for each of these words: check, after, and mark. This is out of 3 points. Well, there you go. I just tried to do a little bit of a refresh on my end here. Hopefully that fixes a little bit of the buffering issues for you guys. I apologize for this. Everything seems to be doing great on my end. Computer CPU speed is great. We've got some great speed over here on the internet, so trying to figure out the issues here. But as soon as I do, I will make sure to fix that for you guys. Let's take a look at your next category coming up. It is sitcom. And I like this one, and I went to, usually, I'd use the same template. I went to delete that, and I was like, no, do it again. Do another round about sitcoms, because that was a lot of fun. So let's take a look at these assorted questions about television sitcoms. Number 1, on what television comedy would you find the characters going to the Snake Hole Lounge for a drink? Number 2, in sitcom, on what single camera sitcom would you have found characters named Elliot, Turk, Carla, and John Dorian? And number 3, in your sitcom category, with what show would you associate the quotes, "I want to go to there," "high-fiving a million angels," and "good God, Lemon"? Well, there you have it. That is Sitcom 3 questions about television comedies, or situational comedies, if you will. I've got your answers coming up right now for this one. Let's take a look at what I was looking for. We were talking about Parks and Recreation, the Snake Hole Lounge, where you can get a nice glass of snake juice and probably not remember anything that you did that night. Number 2, we have got Scrubs. I didn't want to give it away, which is why I full named him John Dorian, or JD, and JD, Turk and JD. I would go ahead and quote this show forever if I could, because I was really into the good years of that show. And last but not least, we have 30 Rock, a quite funny show right there. This is my second 30 Rock reference this week, I believe, as a matter of fact, where we had a reference to MILF Island on Wednesday. Give yourself a point for each of these sitcoms right here: Parks and Rec, Scrubs, and 30 Rock, as we go back. And the answer is a bit on the lower end here, where we've got a lot more 2s and 1s this time, and a couple of 0s. 30 Rock is fantastic, and I have the benefit of not having watched the entire series, so whenever I do decide to sit down and watch it, I will be full of new episodes and surprises and things, which is going to be great. Same with Parks and Rec. I only ever watched the first 3 seasons of Parks and Rec. I enjoyed them thoroughly, but man, I know there's way more left to watch that is going to be enjoyable. So, and 2 series that have the reputation of ending on a high note and ending when they should, and not ending at a terrible sort of "we had to end." So there you have it. This is the TV review portion of the night. Thank you very much for being here. We got Starts With You coming up. I really wanted to do one of those categories. I haven't done it in a while, where every answer starts with a certain letter. Here, every answer will start with U. You gotta think, how many U words are there? And I tried to eliminate a few of them that were too obvious. So let's take a look at these 3 questions. It starts with U. A small 4-string guitar of Portuguese origin. Number 2, this answer will also start with the letter U. Made up sequential number which emphasizes something that has happened many times before. And finally, number 3 starts with the letter U, said of something present or found everywhere. And there you have it. That's how it starts with you. We've got 3 answers on your board. All of them should start with the letter U. Let's see if they come up to what I was thinking. I don't know. I'm doing something else at the same time, trying to really figure out this buffering thing, and me being a host at the same time. I don't know. Sometimes I think I should just have one personality, just me doing this show. Yeah, we got number 1, the ukulele. That's right, a 4-string guitar, small, Portuguese origin, which I learned today. Did not know Portuguese origin, a ukulele. Never would have guessed. You would have said, guess where ukuleles are from. Portugal would not have been one of my guesses. Probably would have went with Spain. Yeah, I think I would have went with Spain. Number 2, we've got the umpteenth. Oh God, I'm having a hard time. For a guy who's a public speaker, you know what? Maybe it's this juicy ass IPA. It's just got jaw-numbing capabilities. Umpteenth time, the umpteenth time. And finally, ubiquitous, something that is present, ever present, or formal, right there. Ubiquitous. That's what I was looking for number 3. Give yourself a point for each of those as I get my energy back after trying to figure out all of these issues. Where's the mouse? That is a great question, because I have not heard anything since that first one. And I mean, the room in which I know it is, which is over there, has at least 2, maybe 3 mouse traps with food in it. And still, nothing. I'm going to be laying some fresh food tonight. Guess who's going hunting? Yeah, this guy right here. I know, doesn't look much like a hunter, but when he's gotta, that thing's gonna eat my pasta. Nothing gets in the way of my food, that's for sure. All right, starts with you is done. We got your scores coming in, some 3s and some 1s. That's weird. No 2s, just all or nothing. It's all or most, all or some. the common expression, all or some. Let's get on to our next one. We've got really animated. It is time for your picture round. Another animated character round. Francois, are you lazy? Yes. But sometimes I just get in a track and I find some stuff on the internet and it's really good. 5 pictures coming at you right now. I want you to name the animated character in each of these painted characters. Animated characters that are drawn realistically. Let's take a look right now. Name the character for each of these photos. Can't figure out what the problem is. Don't know what is the problem. Why are you being such a I don't know what is going on right now. Computer usually works way better. Hey, hey, oh no. That last one is super cute. Like, really, really. That's the one that got my attention. I was like, man, that is a cute painting. I gotta use this. And then I looked it up. There it was. 5 different characters you had to name from different animated sources. Mostly, if I'm not mistaken, Disney or Pixar. Let's take a look at the answers coming up right now. 5 of them on your board. We had Alice from Alice in Wonderland laying in those magic mushrooms. I have literally been exactly where she was, minus the actual mushrooms. They weren't next to me. They were inside me at that point, but I related with that photo. Merida. I don't relate. There's a photo I don't relate with. The brave, I'm going to take my bow and arrow and go and take on the world. Nah, I'll entertain the world from my studio. How's that sound? That sounds pretty good to me. But that was Merida right there. We get Miguel. Miguel, that's right. His name's not Coco. No, his grandmother's name is Coco. Miguel is the character that we were talking about over here. Isn't it his great-grandmother? I don't know. I'll be corrected very soon. We've got the Lady and the Tramp coming in at number 4, where we had 2 characters in there. So Lady and Tramp, 1 point each. Sure, why not? It's late in the night. I don't really mind. It's fine. I've got plenty of points. It's bags full of them right over there. Yeah. And finally, Mulan, the cutest one of them all. Mulan coming in there. This whole round out of 6 points. Really animated. There you go. Thank you. I knew it. I knew that Mike, our Pixar expert, would be chiming in if I got it wrong. It is the great-grandmother of the boy. And that last round, yes, is out of 6 points. Coming up, we've got Mana Rags, your next category. Mana Rags, I don't know if you knew this, fun fact, Mana Rags is not something used in medieval games to wipe up life-giving serum. No, it is an anagram of the word anagram. That's right. These are all going to be anagrams of bands from the 90s. I've been in the mood. Everyone, this is my chance. This is my chance to tell you about my newest thing. I came up with this. I was inspired by it. I adapted it. I made it my own. But a music bingo. We tested it out a few years ago with some friends. It went very well and people loved it. But then it just kind of sat there. We never did anything with it. Well, guess what? You guys get to play some music bingo if you want. Next week at the Walkerville Brewery, outside in their beer garden. There are a few tables available, and there are a bunch of tables. There's 20 tables available. I'm going to be playing some songs. You guys are going to have a bingo card. You're going to be checking off those songs. When you get a bingo, you win prizes. It's going to be a great time. Rock and roll bingo is what I'm calling it. And I was working on one of the categories for it, where I was going to work on it. A playlist, a 90s playlist. And I thought, well, might as well bring it over here and do a little Mana Rags. These anagrams, once again, if you rearrange the letters, you'll be able to form band names from the 90s. And it starts with the number 1 right here. Helicopter Dish Prep. Number 2, rearrange the letters in this to form a band name from the 90s. Simpleton Peels Tot. I hope it's not related to the first one. And number 3, rearrange the letters in this following saying, sentence, phrase to form a band name from the 90s. A Kurt Slave. You can be reassured or rest assured that I used very popular 90s bands here. So rearrange the letters in these to form classic 90s bands. I guess it all depends on what you were into in the 90s. There's all sorts of different bands I've been discovering as doing these playlists for the Rock and Roll Bingo. I've been having a great time, and I think you guys should come out. The fun thing is that you get to work, you're working individually with your own bingo cards, but you get to help each other out at your table because there's no way that can be stopped. So it's going to be a lot of fun, just kind of like this, but working as a team. Let's take a look at the answers for these mana rags. Rearrange the letters in those. We had the red hot chili peppers coming in at number 1. Number 2, what did we want to see? The Stone Temple Pilots. And at number 3, it was Veruca Salt. Give yourself a point for each of those. Anagrams is always the toughest category at Seriously Trivia, and that's why I don't use it too often. Once in a while, I take a chance, try to see if I can get one that you guys will get as well. We still got some cool scores over here. Veruca Salt is popular. I mean, granted, sure, maybe not super popular, but they were at the time. Wasn't it Seether? No, yeah, something like, no, that was a band. I'm trying to remember the name of the Veruca Salt. Well, the fact that I just said the Veruca Salt song should be an indication of how popular they were. But, you know, it all depends on how late in the 90s you grew up, or if you grew up in the 90s at all. That's how hard that round was. We still got some scores coming in here, and there you have it. Boom, boom, boom. It is Seether. Yeah, you can't fight the Seether. I knew it. I knew it. We got one category left here. We're going to play Former and the Latter. After that, I want to see your scores. We're going to be chatting about that for a second, and then we're going to head over into the Games Lounge for some fun games. Guys, I will tell you right now, Sneak, I'm bringing a puzzle. I'm bringing a puzzle. I'm making it super puzzly. So if you're joining in and you don't know a lot of the trivia stuff, but you're looking forward to the puzzles, I got you, fam. I got you. I don't know why I was touching every part of my face there, except I was trying to do this one. Let's take a look at Former and the Latter. And of course, we're going to be doing a shot or two. It's going to happen. Let's take a look at Former and the Latter, your final game of the night. 9 possible points coming out to each and every one of you who can get all of these right. In each box, I'm going to give you 3 hints. Each of these hints are going to have an answer that is 1 letter off from the next. For example, dead, deer, rear, but they're going to have hints leading to those answers. If you can figure them all out, you're going to get 1 point each, which means 9 possible points. Let's get going with your first one. First one we're looking for, it's a 4-letter word. First one meaning group or family. 1 letter off, we're looking for an edible mollusk. And 1 letter off from that, to shut loudly. Number 2. These 3 answers are 1 letter off from each other. 4-letter word for entrance, no money, and artificial pond. And finally, number 3, your last question, your last category, your last little bit of gaming of Seriously Trivia for tonight. Sorry to be so final, everybody. Five-letter word, arm support, a bee prick, and malodorous. Well, there you have it, everybody. That is a former and the latter. 9 possible points going to your team if you were able to figure out every word in these boxes. Let's take a look right now while the buffering's good. We got number 1 coming at you. A family or a group is a clan. We got an edible mollusk, which is a clam. And to shut loudly is to slam. Let the boys be boys. Slam. Anyway, and so on and so forth. Number 2, we had an entrance, which is a door. We have no money. Is that what I wrote? No money? Yeah, poor. And then we had an artificial pond, which is a pool. And at number 3, we had an arm support, a sling. We had a bee prick, which is a sting. And we have malodorous, which is a stink or to stink. Give yourself a point for each of those. 9 possible points coming at you right now. Oh, look at that! That's it. We're already done. We're at the end of Seriously Trivia. I can't believe it. Here we are. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's been a great time, and I do hope you enjoyed tonight's game. That last category was a great one to end on. I do appreciate it because I'm taking a look at your scores here. We got a bunch of 9s, some 8s, and some amazing scores. The COVID Comnan, 38 points tonight. Can you believe that? Let your scores go through here, and whether or not you got a high scores, low scores, you are all winners in my heart just for being here. It's been nice to see all of you here tonight, especially those that I haven't seen in a few nights. Thank you very much for joining me. It warms my heart. As I said, get in touch with me for the shot glasses if you would like me to put some aside for you, and we will arrange some sort of delivery / shipping / meetup. You can, of course, see me next week live at 7 o'clock for Mack Flash Trivia Live. I'll be at the Manchester Pub in person Wednesday night at 7 for another Mack Flash Trivia. And I'll be at the Walkerville Brewery on Thursday for Rock and Roll Bingo from 6 to 9 outside on the patio. You get to be outside, listen to some tunes, play some bingo, answer some trivia. It's all about music and beer. It's going to be a great time. My name is Francois. I have been your host. I am now pasting the link to the Games Lounge in the chat. There it is. Join me in about 10 minutes or so. 10 minutes, not or so. I gotta be there. It starts at 10 for the Games Lounge. We're gonna play some more games, have some more drinks. You guys have a great night. Thank you.